Human archetype. What's up, spiritual family, and welcome back to Mount Fitness MBS Ministry, where I am your host, Brother Minister Mongoose. Hey, man, listen, man. Let me say something to you, man. Woman, I hope we're in a day and age where we are, most of us, a lot of us are, we've grown accustomed to the fact that when we say man, it doesn't necessarily mean, a man. It can, what up, man? I could say that to a man or a woman. So when I say what up, man, or when I say let me tell you something, man, it's let me tell you something, man, woman, boy, or girl. What's required of you is excellence. This is what's required of you. Period. The maintenance of your belief systems, the sustained growth and evolution of your spiritual self, your mental self, achieving the God-given purpose for your life, maintaining as you grow and evolve in your God-given authenticity. Every single thing about you requires excellence. You're not like everybody else. You're not. More has been given to you as a human archetype, and therefore more is required of you. Excellence is required of you to be that husband, to be that wife, to be that parent, to be that child, to be that neighbor. See, you are a beacon in these lost and dark times. And in order for you to be that beacon, excellence is required of you. Your attitude, the way you comport yourself, the way you deport yourself, the way you treat others, the way you handle success or failure. Excellence is required of you. When you really, really get this deep down inside, you begin to hold yourself to that standard of excellence. And not in and of your own strength, intelligence, charm, capability, talents, intellect, none of that. Not in and of those things, but in and of this thing that we refer to as the ultimate universal power, whatever that means to you. By way of this thing, the Bible refers to it as I can do nothing without him, but through him I can do all things. Through that thing, excellence is demanded of you. This is how we achieve it. You're not like everybody else. Stop looking at them, being mad at them, judging them. They don't carry what you carry. They don't have a obligatory standard of excellence, but you do. And again, it's so, when we're talking about perfection from a human standpoint, the human standpoint doesn't amount to a half of a hill of soggy, wet bean skins. We're not talking about that. We're talking about excellence in accordance to what this thing that we call God, whatever that means to you, dictates, what it downloads to us. That standard of excellence. Not a standard of dotting the I's and crossing the T's in terms of what your parents told you should be, what society told you should be, what you once told yourself you should be. Not in terms of finances, religion, politics, but in a true, very organic, no additives, no preservative type of excellence. An excellence that can only be achieved through this thing that we call primary source, whatever that means for you. Excellence is required of you. And when I say excellence, guys, it's not saying that you don't have a, whatever you want to call it, an outburst. It's not to say that you are Mr. or Mrs. Pollyannic and rainbows and unicorns and kumbaya. Those are the twisted ways of the world that have indoctrinated the overwhelming majority of people in society and have convinced them that living and meeting those standards of the ways of the world, this is what excellence looks like. But the devil is a lie. And oftentimes, dotting the I's and crossing the T's as it relates to the ways of the world, what society and culture has taught us, and sometimes, unfortunately, even religion. I don't bash religion. Don't get me wrong. Please get me right. But I'm making a point here. Because if you blindly follow any religion, you can make the mistakes of our forefathers, which we know all the religions have raped, killed, murdered, subjugated in the name of that very religion. So I'm not talking about religion in and of itself. I'm talking about following it blindly. So when we're talking this excellence, we're talking about achieving it in a way that dotting the I's and crossing the T's in the ways of the worldly excellence oftentimes leaves you, it can lead a person down the wrong path. It could keep a person limited in terms of their spiritual growth, evolution. And it can also cause a person to achieve all those things in terms of worldly excellence, achieve them all, and still end up empty and unfulfilled. This is the main thing that we're dealing with now. A lot of people have achieved or are attempting to achieve this world standard of excellence. Everything from just holding the door and saying good morning and being polite and getting the education and getting a bank account and giving back to charities. They're doing all of these things that the world told them this is what excellence looks like. And they're doing those things, and those things aren't doing it for them. They're doing those things, but those things aren't doing it for them. They're still mad, disgruntled, bitter, and unfulfilled. It's not what I'm talking about when I say excellence. That's not the standard of excellence that you have. That's not the standard of excellence that's demanded of you. the standard of excellence that's demanded of you vastly exceeds that. Because you can have all of the T's crossed and all the I's dotted when it comes to these earthly or worldly things that we associate with excellence. You can have all that and be unfulfilled, and you can have little to none of that and be totally fulfilled. Walking in true love, true integrity, true confidence, true compassion, true modesty, true forgiveness, true boldness. This is what the good book / the Bible means when it says, I will use the foolish things to confound the wise. Because the things that I just mentioned are foolish to the so-called wise. Because the so-called wise spend all of their time, all of their energy, all their efforts, all their finances into achieving this, even though they've known since middle school or high school it's unfulfilling, it's taxing, and it's disingenuous because everybody has to put this mask on. So when you come along and you're prioritizing this divine essence that I'm referencing, and then what's secondary, or perhaps even tertiary, or maybe even non-existence, is what the world told you excellence looks like. That don't even come across the radar. If it does organically, then so be it. But far and away is your priority, is your prioritization on this divine excellence. And if the T's go uncrossed and the I's go undotted from a worldly perspective, then so be it. And people that have poured their time, energy, and resources into the earthly or the worldly definition of excellence, they're confused, they're confounded by how is it that you have so much joy? How is it that you have so much peace? How is it that you have so much confidence? How is it that you're able to genuinely forgive a person? How is your discernment operating so, effectively? They're confounded. They're confused because they're pursuing this misguided notion of excellence. That's not the excellence that's required of you. You could have absolutely no education. In fact, you're looking at someone who doesn't have a 6th grade level formal education. You're looking at someone who went to the 6th grade before about 2 months. He didn't even complete the school year of 6th grade. You could be taught. It's not about your composition, what you look like in the mirror. Your excellence is not determined by what society says it is. When you look in the mirror, society tell you, if you're this height, if you're this size, if you're this gender, then you should weigh this amount. Your pants size should be this. Your dress size should be that. That's not the standard of excellence you're striving for. If those things fall in line, great. But if they don't, great. This excellence that's required of you is an excellence that says, hey, you know what? If Heavenly Father wanted me to be that size, that shape, that color, whatever, then I know he could have made me that size, that shape, that color. And so my excellence is to just do what I can do. If it's just I can barely bend over and tie your shoe. If it's walk up a flight of stairs or 2 steps of stairs. Your excellence is to walk up those 2 flights, those 2 steps. You may have a cane, you may have a walker, you might be an elderly person, you might be totally overweight, whatever the case may be. But if you can walk up those 2 steps, don't you get on that escalator before you walk up those 2 steps. That's the standard of excellence. That's demanded of you. You could have no money in your bank account. No friends on the job. Your standard of excellence is to keep on keeping on in faith and keep on hoping on in love. Not to bow down, not to kiss up, not to sell out. And to show up in that workplace, in society, wherever it is, where there's no friends. And still exude that excellence. It might be bugs on the rest of you mugs, but it ain't no bugs on me. And I'm not mad at you. I'm not going to hold that against you. I'm not going to slip into bitterness or retaliatory mode. It's just what it is. That's the standard of excellence. That's demanded of you. A standard of excellence that says, hey, listen, everybody else may be laughing at you because you drive that kind of car. They may be laughing at you because you don't have a car. Maybe you don't even have a house. But you got more joy. You got more fulfillment in the tip of your pinky toe than they have in their entire existence. In their relationships, their finances, their belief system. All of that combined can't come close to even coming close to the amount of fulfillment that you have just in your pinky toe. Let alone up through the heel of your feet and your ankles, up to your knees and your thighs and so forth, to the very crown of your head. You got an abundant amount of joy and fulfillment. And you haven't quit on getting the house and the car and the finances. But you know that the excellence that is demanded of you is an excellence that says, you know what? Who you are transcends what you have, what you don't have, what you look like, what you feel like. It transcends your past mistakes. It transcends the struggles that you're in right now. It transcends what they say about you. Transcends politics, race, religion, color. This is the excellence that's required of you to say, regardless, if all the parts fall, I'm not going to fall apart. That's the excellence that's required of you. And if all of the parts line up, I'm not going to turn my nose down on people that may be struggling, that may not have it as well as you have it. When you look in the mirror, you lost the weight, you look great, you feel great, but others don't. You're not walking around looking down on them because they ain't been to the gym or whatever. No, you understand, you overstand, you understand, and you eternal stand the excellence that is demanded of you. This is who you are as a human architect. human archetype to exemplify greatness, to exemplify love, compassion, humbleness, tolerance, wisdom, courage, the whole shebang, regardless of the situation and circumstances. You got some people out there, they went to the doctor and the doctor told them to get their affairs in order. And they got more peace, more happiness, more joy in the tip of their pinky toe than some people that went there and got a clean slate of health. Come on. Because they understand the level and the type and the degree of excellence that's demanded of them as a human archetype. Now, I'm not saying that this is an easy road to travel, but you can look at whatever religion, you can look at whatever great person that's provided meaning and purpose, lasting meaning and purpose in this thing that we call the human experience, or to this thing we call the human experience, history. And you could see that the road was never easy, but they got her done. The more you have been given, it's not just given and it stops there. The more you have been given, the more requirements that's been given to you. You're required to do more. You're required to be more. You are required to achieve more. Keeping in mind, we ain't talking about no external achievements. Because there are some guys that's out there that's living under a bridge. They'll run circles around me in physical fitness, and I've been doing physical fitness my entire life. For you guys that's out there, that's, financial advisors. There's some guys out there under a bridge, some girls out there under a bridge that have that standard of excellence within them. And if they came to your company, they'll make you look like you was in pre-K. It's not about doing these things externally. The standard of excellence that's on your life, that's required of you, transcends all that. Live it, walk it, whether it's easy, whether it's difficult, whether it's easy. If it's easy for you, great, I salute you, I celebrate you. Go out there and give back. Your love, your kindness, your smile, your generosity, your wisdom, your information, your prayer. Go out there and give back. If it's difficult for you, I salute you and I celebrate you. Your love, your strength, your wisdom, your courage, your compassion, go right on out there and show it. Share it. Give somebody hope. That if you're out there struggling, you don't have to blame anyone else. You don't have to fault find. You don't have to become bitter. You don't have to fall into despair. Show them. They may have a roof over their head. They may have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their bank account. You show them what it means to be happy. Maybe they can look at you and see that you don't have half of what they got, but you're a lot more happier. Show them. If you're living in a mansion, and you could go out and financially purchase whatever you want to purchase. You show the rest of those people that could purchase whatever they want to purchase. You show them how to treat people who are what we would refer to as less fortunate. You show the people who are actually less fortunate what excellence looks like. When you go down there and you move in compassion, you move in wisdom and understanding, empathy, and let them know, hey, don't give up. Keep on going. There are still good people on this planet. This is the excellence that's demanded of you. And it's the excellence that's demanded of me. Don't mean we dot the I's and cross the T's when it comes to our own selves. You know, we may have slip-ups. This is a part of this thing that we call the human experience. As I get out of here, the good book says that there will be no temptation that will befall you or myself except those that are common to man. So whatever we go through, whatever we deal with, our shortcomings, our slip-ups, the days we were off, and situations where we didn't knock the ball out the park, that's fine. That just brings us right back to the fact of who we are and this standard of excellence that's demanded of us. And we get right back on the horse, looking for the opportunity to redeem ourselves and to our absolute best ability stand on that standard of excellence. If I didn't hit it out the park that time, I'm having a human experience, that's fine. I make no excuses. I just bring myself, by way of this thing that we call first cause, I bring myself back to the fact that that's not who I am. I have a standard of excellence. Excellence is demanded. It's required of me. So I got to treat that person better. I got to get to the gym. I got to be better at saving my money. You know, I got to work a few extra hours. You know, I got to forgive that person that hurt me. It's not, everybody else may not have to do those things, but everybody else aren't this beacon into the world. Everybody else aren't this light into the world. Everybody else don't have that excellence that's demanded of them, but you do. Reach out to this ministry if I could be of assistance to you in absolutely any way. And I mean that. Hey, listen, guys, thank you so very much for your love, for your generosity, for your support, for spending time, seeing, what a humble servant such as myself has to say. Thank you so very much. I have to go rather quickly because I have to take this phone call, guys. Okay? I love y'all. I'll holler back. Peace.